All right, y'all. I'm on my bus quite early before I have to do my route, and I have a little time to squeeze this video out. Um, but yeah, I was doing some thinking, and it was interesting because with all the news that's starting to come out now and things like that of that nature, there's not been a lot really to talk about. But this is something that I was actually thinking about for a couple days because inherently you would think that Lonzo is the best player on the Bulls, the way like his health is dictating so much of what the Bulls can do. And for good reason. The advanced analytics favor him greatly. I've been sharing and posting things in the chat for my channel, and those guys are seeing all the like stuff. Basically, all the arguments I've made are basically validated in the advanced analytics. All the things that I said before the year started and during the actual season last year showed up in the advanced analytics for Lonzo, and it's just like, wow, every fucking detail down to the nitty gritty is pretty much validated and proven. So I don't have to argue the advanced stats and stuff anymore. That stuff is, all it does is just justify that what I saw is what's out there or what's on the court and in numbers. But that'd be the easiest thing, is just to say Lonzo here. But I'm going to talk about who I think the most important Bull is, and it's not going to be a starter. Caveat, that doesn't mean that I don't think any of these starters will be important or will be most important, in a vacuum, because hell, they play the most minutes, so they're going to be more important here than the guy I'm going to talk about. But in terms of development, in terms of Billy Donovan, because this is important here. Billy Donovan relied on this guy in a multitude of ways last year, and I feel like of all the bench players, if this guy pops off, they got something. So without further holding, the player I want to talk about is Derrick Jones Jr. First of all, his stats don't do anything you like pop out to you. He's like 6 points, 3 rebounds, not even a full assist. Like 53% field goal shooting, like 32% 3-point shooting, highest marks of his career. His numbers don't pop out to you. Then again, he doesn't play a lot of minutes, so you can't expect these jaw-dropping numbers, right? Here's my thing. All this is predicated on improvement. I'm not asking for Derrick Jones to become a god-like 3-point shooter, but if he can shoot 36, 37%, he completely changes his trajectory as a player. And he adds another dimension to the Bulls bench that I think is going to be necessary, because at one point in the season last year, we were ranked last in 3-point attempts at 28, but we were ranked the highest in percent. Like, we were making 12 threes a game out of the 28 or so. And as I've said before, of those 28 threes being taken, 12 of those came from Zoe and Zach LaVine. If you want to take it a step further on analytics, Zoe accounted for 1/4 of all the threes taken by this team per game. Now, here's the thing. The starting lineup is fine. Well, let me not say fine, it's solid. Okay? The bench is where we're having issues at. And Derrick Jones took a lot of minutes for this team under Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan trusted him with a lot of work this past year. Playing small ball 5, playing small ball power forward, being a guy to go out there to defend, rebound, and to try to knock down corner threes. My belief is if he can get his three-point shooting up to about 36-37%, he becomes an invaluable piece. He's a legit 3-and-D guy. He has the slashing ability because he's a former dunk champion. He has the hops to get things done around the rim. I think at that point he elevates this team. Of course, we're not saying he's going to take like 5 threes a game or something like that. But if you're talking about we can trust him to go out there and space the floor for us, because he spent a lot of his time with DeMar DeRozan, and those lineups need the space so DeMar can do what he does in space, in the mid-range. I think it goes a long way to improving this roster. The thing is, he's already relied on for defense, okay? And his jumping ability is used for the rebounding, although I don't want him playing the 5. I don't want him playing the 4. His optimal position to me is the 3. He should be playing the 3. In small ball lineups, if you want to play the 4, okay, I guess. I still would rather keep him at the 3, even in a small ball lineup. However, I'm okay with him playing power forward, I guess, sometimes in small ball. But all of this depends on his trajectory as a three-point shooter. If he improves to a point where you have to actually respect him, because I've watched the film, what they did is they would leak off of him to go help on somebody, and that's why he was always open taking threes. And if he made it, butt smack, hey, good shot, see if you do it again next time. If not, it was just like, well, that's what we expected. And the numbers show that he's not good of a three-point shooter. Which is why him improving there would completely change things. Because instead of people worried about closing out on him because he takes a wide open 3, now people are going to have to think about if they want to actually leak off to him. Because if he's burying the 3, particularly corner 3, because that's where he's going to be at. If he's burying those 3s, then now you have to make a decision. You put that extra layer there that a person is going to have to deal with. Okay, DeMar's attacking. Okay, do I help off of him, or do I risk DeMar making the pass and he knocking us down? And that in itself, like that, keeping the defender an extra second allows DeMar the opportunity to score much more efficiently. He's just had his birthday. He's 33 years old. He's not getting any younger. You can't expect him to play the way he played this previous year, nor under the same minutes he's played. And so you're going to want to have to make his job as easy as possible. And so I feel like Derrick Jones has to come along this year. He's 25 years old. Okay, so he's not that old. He's right there within the ranges of like Zoe and Zach LaVine and such, so he's right there. He fits the timeline. But if he comes along in a way that Billy Donovan is trying to use him, along with, what he just naturally has, I think he'll be an asset, because now there's other things I'm looking at. What if you're running the break, right? And he can make a decision now to just sit back for 3 and just to launch a 3. That's another dynamic, because Zoe is going to get downhill, Zach is going to get downhill, and leak outs, he can get to the rim because he does that. It's just a matter of, can he knock down the shot? And so he's the most important bull, because we could talk about Caruso. Okay, what if Caruso can shoot 40% from 3 again? It doesn't really change much. Ayo was shooting 45% at one point. Doesn't change much. Okay? Outside of that, there's really nobody on the bench that we need to concern ourselves with shooting other than Kobe. And he's a different kind of shooter. He was already shooting like 36-37%, I believe, from 3 last year. And so the only thing Kobe could do is to be more consistent, which would probably be like 39%, 40% from 3. Or just take fewer threes in total, but still keep that same percent and not be as much of a risk to brick it and it goes, to the other team. But, a mid-level three is not going to, he's already shot that, so it's not going to change anything. But Derrick Jones developing a three does so much more for the team. It makes him so much more valuable and useful. And I think that in itself would make him the most important player, at least off the bench, because of the dynamic he's going to have on his team. Now, if this was somebody like Troy Brown Jr. or something, and I know Troy Brown's not on the team, but if this was Troy Brown, it would help Troy Brown, but Troy Brown wasn't playing minutes every game. Like Derrick Jones Jr. was going to get in every game. Guaranteed. He was that far and above better than the others. So he was going to get in every game. And so for me, it's like, for someone playing spot minutes, okay, maybe not. But you could argue maybe, okay, well, if Troy Brown could always shoot, then he would have been able to play regardless because you can use his shooting and defense. Okay, fair enough. But I think Derrick Jones just works better with the other guys that are present. And since he's playing a lot of his minutes next to DeMar DeRozan, who needs the spacing, and Zoe, I think he's going to be the most important Bull for this next year going forward. His improvement to me is going to mean a lot. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments section. Y'all have a good day. Peace.